In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is
Welcome to Good Friday. Good Friday is a day of seriousness in the Christian church. It reminds us of the suffering that Jesus went through, but also, in many ways, the suffering every human goes through. One of the things I think is beautiful about this day is that we realize in some ways that God, in essence, suffers with us. And so in our suffering, we are never really alone. It often feels that way, but we are surrounded by the divine, and it is flowing through the very circumstances that's causing us pain and suffering. One of the beautiful things about suffering or about our sense of loss or loneliness is that we realize that in many ways our life is not complete just by having the things we want, because when those are gone, we know that real completeness comes by being in touch with the highest of ourselves, the divine, the presence of God, the love of the universe. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to ask Anna Quintana and Mimi Lohmiller to come forward and to tell you very, very briefly a little of their story of their own Good Friday. Both of these women are living examples of Easter. But today we're celebrating the suffering as much as we are celebrating the victory. So as you hear their story, see if you can tap into your own. See if you can touch that part of you which has got a missing right now or has felt somehow the pain or the suffering of life. And let it grow in you to the point where you reach out to the divine and invite it into your life to fill that void. Let it come in, touch you deeply, transform you in some way. Their stories are painfully beautiful. And we know, by knowing them personally, that they are no longer an effect of those stories, but have been transformed by them. Let's listen to their story.
We all have stories of suffering. There's not many of us that get by in this life without it. Some of them are little and some of them are big. Unfortunately, I had a very big one. When I was in my 30s, I became very ill, so ill that I couldn't even get out of bed. And it lasted for about 10 years. I lost my career, I lost my job, my income, many of my friends. It was a very difficult time. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to come out of it. I just knew that at some point, there had to be a reason for why I was going through this experience. It was difficult. I didn't know if it was going to be fixed. I didn't know what was happening or why. I was angry. But at some point, I did come to a place of saying, I need to let this go. I need to let God into my life more fully. I need to surrender. I need to make it okay, whether I get well or I don't. I detached from an outcome. And I had my crucifixion moment at that time. I had the feeling that I didn't really know where it was going, but I knew it was shifting. I knew there was something deep inside of me that was leading me. I knew there's something deep inside of me that loved me. And I knew there was something very deep inside of me that was going to bring me peace. And so eventually I did come out of the illness. I still have to be very careful about my health, but there's so many blessings that came out of it. It led me to compassion, to empathy, to my ability to listen and to pray with people. It led me to my second career as a minister. I came out of it. I had my Good Friday moment. I had the time in my life where I knew I was going to be okay, and I am okay. And it's because of this experience that I'm who I am today. So I bless the experience. I give thanks for it. I wouldn't want to do it again, but I bless it, and I'm grateful for what it has given me and in the ways it enables me to serve and to be of service and to be of support to so many people, especially this past year. I've already had my COVID experience prior to the pandemic, so I've been able to be there for many people during this year. And that's how God works. God works in mysterious ways, but He's always working in a way for our highest and our best good, in a way that allows us to unfold as individuals at our own pace, according to our own needs. And so it's my pleasure to share this story with you, as difficult as it is to go back to that time in my life, because it was very painful. And it's very difficult to tell you this story, but I tell you to encourage you, to give you hope that you too can come out on the other side of whatever you are experiencing, no matter how small or how large. So God bless you.
Good Friday 2010 will be an unforgettable Good Friday for me. For I had been summoned by my father and the family to discuss the future of the family business and my role in it. I had worked in the family business for 23 years at the time, knowing from the beginning that it was not my ultimate destination. I had been ordained a unity minister, but still very much involved in the business world. Come to a point, couple of months prior to this meeting, that I had made the decision of quitting the business and following my dream and following my heart. There was major resistance on my family's part. And for the first time, all of the family members got together to essentially attack me. That's what fear does. And I've always been a very sensitive and a sentimental person. I wish I'd had the courage at the time to defend myself, but I just took everything in and walked out of that meeting with the greatest sorrow and pain I have probably experienced up to that moment in my life. The closest ones were not seeing me, were not allowing me to fly and to be after everything that I had done for the family, it felt. Couldn't really cope with the intensity of the emotion. And this is where I walked away and went into my prayer room. I had a picture of Jesus meditating, and opened my eyes, looked at this picture to realize at the deepest level what Jesus' ordeal had been all about. He had to giving of himself fully and still was not seen or acknowledged by most people, to the point where he was murdered and crucified. And I felt the same way, thinking, if you did it, I'll be able to do it too. Must be something in me that can keep me going, even when I don't know exactly where I'm headed. I trust that I will. Good Fridays are tough for what they represent, the crucifixion and death, and closings and closures, disappointments. But we must know that they're not the end. They're probably the closing of a big chapter. And that's what it was for me, the closing of a big chapter. And there was a whole new chapter opening up for me in North Carolina. Later on, I was diagnosed with a breast cancer, which led me to come to Duke and ultimately here to Unity of the Triangle. I look back at it and I go, thank you. Even though it was rough and painful, it was part of my journey. And my family members, at the end of the day, did everything they could at where they were at. Things got back to normal, and my life got even better. So trust your crucifixion process. The sun will shine again. Resurrection will be the ultimate expression. Thank you.
I want to thank Mimi and Anna for their stories. I was listening to them tell their stories, and I was struck by the depth of the pain and the difficulty they have gone through their life. But is equal or greater than even the depth of their suffering they have brought to this world since then, and their compassion. And I believe it was in part created through that suffering that they had, the deepening it caused in them, the awareness that others also have suffered, that brings them into the ministry of this church and allows them to be such comfort and such inspiration for so many. I think we're really blessed to have both of them. And unfortunately, it seemed like that was part of the journey for them to get here. So we thank them for taking the steps, both to go through the pain and also to resurrect. To conclude today's conversation about Good Friday, before we have a meditation, let me read you a poem from Hafiz. Hafiz is a Middle Ages poet in the Sufi tradition. Don't surrender your loneliness so quickly. Let it cut more deep. Let it ferment and season you as few human or even divine ingredients can. Something missing in my heart tonight has made my eyes so soft, my voice so tender, my need of God absolutely clear. So let us prepare to meditate.
Gentle Spirit, flow in me. Gentle Spirit, grow in me. Gentle Spirit, show in me. Gentle Spirit, know me. Gentle Spirit, flow in me. Gentle Spirit, grow in me. Gentle Spirit, show in me. Gentle Spirit, know
So let's begin to meditate and reflect on today. Let's start by settling in, let the body be at rest, and let your mind come into rest by paying attention to your breath. So we pay attention to the breath, feeling it come in, feeling it go out, and letting our bodies relax. See if with each outgoing breath you can let go of some tension. And with each incoming breath, you might feel the inspiration of the breath in your body, awakening the body, and then the breath going out, relaxing the body. And let the breath now also flow through the heart, so we can connect with that tender part of ourselves. Let your body be soft, like Hafiz says, my eyes are soft, my voice is tender. As we feel into the tender part of our own being, and we commit to being with it, not wanting it to be different, just letting it be as it is. And from that tender place that is inside us, let us call on the divine feminine, often represented as Mary, the mother of Jesus. Call on Mary, call on the feminine for comfort, for assurance, for love. Let her hold you as Mary does in the Pietà, where she's holding the body of her son Jesus. Let the divine feminine hold you. Let there be a sacredness to your suffering. Let there be a tenderness to your care. Let there be an eternality to your connection. And if tears are in order, let them flow. All of life is suffering. That's what the Buddha said. You might have missed something. There's beauty and grace inside that suffering. There is a universality inside suffering. Let your heart open and take comfort from the divine. With each breath in, feel that comfort. With each breath out, let go a little bit of suffering. And slowly come into this present moment, just as you are, held by the divine, resting in the arms of Mother Mary. And feel what it is to be you in this moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Let us lie together in the arms of Mary, together in this holy space, in the silence.
Holy Mother, where are you? Tonight I feel broken in two. I've seen the stars fall from the sky. Holy Mother, I can't keep from crying. Need your help this time. Get me through this lonely night. Tell me please which way to turn to find myself again. Holy Mother, hear my prayer. Somehow I know you're still there. Send me please some peace of mind. Take away this pain. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait any longer. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait for you. Holy Mother, hear my cry. I've cursed your name 1,000 times. Felt the anger running through my soul. All I need is a hand to hold. Feel the end has come. No longer my legs will run. You know I would rather be in your arms tonight. Oh, and my hands no longer play. My voice is still, I fade away. Holy Mother,